Well, good evening, my lovelies, and welcome back to the throne room of Camilla, the real Queen of Constantia. And as you will see, I have a spare throne in the throne room tonight and a spare glass because I have a very special guest joining me to review the reunion of the Real Housewives of Durban. A fantastic reviewer in his own right, and my wonderful, wonderful friend, Mbuyiselo Vilikazi, his royaltiness.
Yeah!
Come on! Hooray! Yeah! Yeah! Come and take a seat.
Oh, guys,
Hi.
how are you doing?
Give me a kiss. Mwah. Mwah.
We do it the housewives way.
We do, darling, we do.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Thank you for that lovely introduction. Guys, sifikile. We are here, we are within, we're in Constantia, as seen on TV.
Sabona,
Yebo.
and good evening.
And good evening. And your house is beautiful.
Oh, thank you, my darling.
Guys, what you saw on TV, it's very beautiful. It's not haunted. I would not be here, alright?
No tokolosha.
No tokoloshe, no ghost.
No beds on bricks. No.
Definitely not.
Can I offer you a glass of non-alcoholic bubbly?
Thank you, I'll appreciate.
Fabulous. Let's do it.
She's an amazing host. Oh my word. The Real Housewives of Durban, the reunion. Tell me something. I've not seen you posting your reviews of the latest episodes. What happened?
Okay, I've got to tell you what happened. The last few episodes, I kind of got into this feeling,
Yes.
boy, that I was watching
so much.
Groundhog
Thank
Day
you.
with these episodes. So I was watching the same toxicity, the same arguments happen, with people wearing different clothes at different venues, having the same fights over and over. And it was like Jojo, Nonku, and Ruan on their side, and
Yes.
and the other ladies on their side was Sane causing disturbance
Yes,
in the middle.
yeah.
And it was just the same thing happening every episode, and it was toxic. I wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't enjoying reviewing it, and I was just like, you know what, I don't want to do this. So I actually just stopped. I just ground to a halt.
I relate. I think I've been in the same situation. I think this season got a little bit toxic for most of us. It took a toll on us. Honestly, it should not be like that. Housewives is supposed to be fun.
Yes.
And
entertaining.
As
well as dramatic.
Yes, and dramatic. Obviously, that is inevitable, but I understand where you're coming from. But guess what? We are here now, the reunion.
You encouraged me to kind of, you said, you know what, go back, kind of catch up. Let's do the reunion. I did catch up. I kind of got to the meat of it, but I kind of zoomed through the bits that were really kind of irritating me. And we're here. We watched the reunion today. I really enjoyed it. I did it, and I'm wearing pink in honor.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
It's giving. Oh my word.
I'm in honor of the color scheme.
Yes. While talking about the color scheme, right? Let us talk about I don't know whether I call it the prelude, but when the ladies were coming in, right? What did you think of that? I found it very fascinating. It was done differently. It was very, it was like a movie. I'm watching a movie or something, but I really liked it, even with the host coming in. How did you find that?
Are we talking about the red carpet?
Before the red carpet, you remember that even Sorisha got an opportunity to say what she's expecting on the reunion. Yes.
Yeah, and she came in and she said, no, this has been her worst season ever. And I want to say that kind of for me, Sorisha and her new Sorisha self made it my worst season ever. So kind of the new negative Sorisha, I called her the evil stepmother in the reviews that I reviewed. I didn't like her new persona. I've always enjoyed her being, she said she was influenced by Annie to be her true self, but I'm not sure that I really liked that that stirrer true self. And then she came on and said, you know, it's been my worst season ever, as if she'd been a sort of a victim.
Weird, she is not, honestly.
I don't think she'd been a victim.
Not at all.
So if it was her worst season, I see her as being partially a creator of that worst season.
But don't you think that it's a good thing that, I mean, we all evolve,
of course.
Probably she's become more assertive, and she's able to set boundaries. Don't you think that's a good thing for her also?
It's a good thing, but maybe you need to finally balance between your assertion and your gentleness, not swing wildly from one pole to the other. Do you hear
it definitely raises eyebrows. Yes.
Yeah. For me, it was like a complete 180.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assertive, but I can also be kind. I wasn't seeing much kindness from her except towards Annie, I suppose, who's her greatest friend. But maybe I can be. As I said, everything that I say on here is my opinion, and shoot me down in flames. It's fine.
Yes.
I've got big girl panties on. It's okay. I'm used to being attacked. It's fine. Everything I say is my opinion. But yeah, it was interesting to hear each of the ladies walk in and say what they wanted. I mean, Nonku just said she just wants to get everything over with and apologize if she has to and be clean and clear. What did Jojo just say? She wants it over, ended, finished.
But I have a problem with Nonku when it comes to reunions, right? Nonku, during the course of the season, she's very feisty.
Yeah.
Feisty, outspoken. But in the reunion, she's always, cheers, madam. Cheers, thank you. In the reunion, she's always timid and I'm like,
true.
and
always
modest.
Yes,
and I'm like, wait, what's happening? It's like she's putting on this character during the course of the season, and then in the reunion, she's someone else. She's this, no, God.
No, can you not see why?
Why?
Because she likes to go out of a season being friends with everyone.
Okay.
And kind of putting a plaster over everything so she can come into the next season all happy and then cause all the drama again and then patch everything up and be all friends again at the end. She likes to end kumbaya.
Yes.
And then come in again kumbaya. And that's a bit disingenuous.
It is. It's always as if at the reunion she's always trying to redeem herself. Camilla, let us talk about the set.
Did she really redeem herself with Ayanda though on that first season? No, I don't.
That is still haunting her, honestly. But guys, we have to move honestly from that. I mean, like, it's been 4 years.
Yeah.
It's been 4 years, honestly, guys. I think we have to forgive Nonku.
Look, I think there was a lot of production stirring went on there.
Behind the scenes, as it happened with the season
that
also.
Was a lot.
Yes.
So, the set.
How did you find the set?
Oh, stunning. Man, I'm sorry. They know how to do it. That was just beautiful. I was so jelly.
I thought of you.
Housewives of Cape Town. I was like, oh, I'm jealous.
When I remember,
beautiful.
I loved the Real Houses of Cape Town, right? It was good. But Durban raised the standard. For me, they have said they are the bar, yes, for all Housewives franchises here in Africa, honestly. Even Lagos didn't do it. Durban is another level.
Yeah, but look, boy, it's about budget. It is. It's about budget. Somebody has to pay to do something that divine. And I mean, there are crystals. There's red carpet. There's a long red carpet that those ladies are sweeping down with flowers and arches.
That was beautiful.
It's magnificent. And then so on point, let's do all the ladies in a color scheme. I mean, I've got a bit of tea that Nairobi have also gone with a color scheme.
Okay.
Oh, I'm giving tea.
Yes.
Of the ladies. I mean, we didn't. We each dressed ourselves. So there wasn't a coherent scheme.
Wow.
I love that there was a coherent color scheme.
Definitely.
All shades. And that the set went with the scheme. They did it in a studio.
Yes.
So they had plenty of free reign to design it. But yeah, that's budget. I mean, the chandelier, the crystal droplets, the flowers,
beautiful.
It was all just. I mean, I was just, why am I not there?
It was beautiful. I wouldn't be surprised if they shot at Ocean's Mall in Durban. In the middle of Ocean's Mall, and be like, do not come in today at the mall. We are shooting the reunion. You never know.
No, you could see it was a studio because it had all like soundstage things filming in progress. That was a TV
it could have not
studio.
worked at the ocean.
No, I don't think so.
You never
but
know.
you never know.
You never know.
If it had been Oceans v Mall, it would have had Vivian's Bentley parked in the middle. So I don't think so.
Nah, I also don't think so too.
What? Shade. I threw shade.
And let us talk about the dresses.
Yeah.
That's your department.
Oh yes, all right.
That's
okay,
your
so
department.
I want you guys to send in comments, okay? I want to know who you thought was the best dressed on the night. Okay, now you and boy, tell me who.
Ladies first.
Oh.
Ladies first.
Oh. Okay, so this is terrible for me because I loved Sorisha's dress except under the sea.
Yes.
Under the
Yes.
sea.
Yes.
It looked like she was wearing coral.
Yes, you're right.
It was just giving me mermaid wearing coral.
I get you.
Okay,
Yes.
these pieces
Entangled mermaid.
looked like pieces of coral from a Disney movie. It was a beautiful dress, and it was nearly the winner if it hadn't looked like it was from an oceanographic display.
Disney movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was a problem for me. Not in Bali.
Yes.
That was just really quite ordinary.
Nonku too. That was a.
Nonku was not a winner. There was too much going on.
Yeah, there was too much, and the crown. Oh
and
my
the
God.
crown. I've got I have
crown.
no problem with crowns. My crown just happens to be on my candelabra at the moment. Yeah, I have no problem with crowns. Wear your crown with pride. But we had frills. We had diamante. We had frills here. We had the crown. I think if you're going to wear the crown and wear the crown with pride, but then wear something a little simpler and let the crown speak for itself. I actually thought Maria looked amazing. I'm also thinking of Maria.
Dress. Yes, Maria.
I liked Maria's dress. I think it was a little tight on the bustier area. I think it just she's got these beautiful boobs. Yeah. But I think possibly the lady who made the corset or gentleman, there was a slight fitting problem here. But all in all, I think that dress might have been the winner for me.
It helped that she cried. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it helped because we got to see the
full length of the dress when she got up to walk out. Exactly. And the dramatic swoosh of the moment when she stormed out. Yes. Because even when they did walk in, they did a lot of shooting from above when they walked in. I would have loved to have seen Sorisha's dress without the coral. Okay. Sometimes you can over-design dresses.
I know.
And put too much on because a fashion designer is going on a creative swirl and they actually get too dramatic.
People want to show off it's the reunion.
That Sorisha's dress would have been divine if it didn't have the coral. What is it called? It's not good. Trying to think what it's called, a coral bank. If it hadn't had the coral sticking off it, I would have preferred it as it was, without all the sticky out bits.
But it made her,
and that may well have been the winner for me.
But it also made her stand out. For me, I think
maybe less of it.
Yes.
Because you see what I'm saying is it was taking away from her face. It was almost like I couldn't see her.
You're right.
Past all this stuff.
I get you.
Because if it had been behind, maybe, but it was all in front of her face.
Yes, in front, but she looked beautiful, though.
Of course, she always does. I mean, she's got the money to be able to afford top fashion designers. Let's face it. So she always does look beautiful. But that's why I'm edging more towards Maria's look, although the fit at the top of the bustier could have been a little bit better. Jojo's dress was lovely, but it wasn't outstanding. Because I think it was just one color. So there maybe I felt that it could have had a little bit of more detail. Interesting, isn't it? Beautifully made.
Yes.
Beautiful fabric. Lovely ruffles. I think it was a thick Duchess satin from what I can recall. I don't have it in front of me.
I wouldn't know, but she was looking beautiful.
Yeah, she was
You were
looking beautiful.
Jojo.
Yeah, Jojo, you were looking absolutely exquisite. And then Slee didn't do too much for me one way or the other. I noticed it.
But you know what?
Look, everybody looked
But
lovely.
you know what? Because of the color scheme, everyone, it complemented it. You know what?
Yes.
It's so hard to see someone who's a worse dressed because they.
No, there wasn't. I just said everybody looked
yes,
lovely.
the dresses all honestly looked alike. I'm gonna give this one. Let's give this one to Sorisha.
Are you going to? Not
Yeah.
Maria. I think it's a close tie.
Yeah, close tie between
It's
Maria.
a close tie.
Maria and
Maria.
And sorry.
Oh, should we go? How do you solve a problem like Maria? It's not shade, I swear.
Oh my word! All right, let us talk about the host.
Oh my god, it is called a coral reef.
Oh
That
yes,
was
the
what I was looking
reef. Listen, if she lost the English, what about me? Imagine me if she lost
I
lost the English. What about me? I'm a Zulu boy. All right. Let's talk about the host, Mable.
Okay, brilliant.
He was born in KZN at Umlazi. He understands isiZulu, he understands English, and oh my god, what do you think about him?
Outstanding. He was hilarious.
Right?
And I just went, and Bali missing, I wrote, the house rules. He's hilarious. His house rules. I was just packing up laughing. You will not leave, you won't bite one another.
Yo, Mable. And the shade, I like.
I'm loving it. And Bali, where were you?
Right. No, that guy is actually very good.
She's like,
he's good.
And she's like, I'm an A cast on another show. So he goes, so you're not actually involved with Housewives?
We are your part-time job.
part-time?
I was
I'm like,
wow.
Fabulous.
I like the fact that he was able to be serious when he has to be serious and also funny when, and I think all the housewives honestly they just warmed up to him and it was easy for them to open up honestly.
And I mean, he called Sunday out. Ooh, I mean, he was fabulous.
He was.
He just kept control so well. He was empathetic when he needed to be. You know, and the other thing that I really felt about him was that he knew the show.
He was definitely watching the show.
This show. He knew these ladies. I mean, hats off, 100% fabulous host. Are we in agreement?
In agreement, total. Do you think that he should host the next reunion of the Real Houses of Cape Town?
Yes, please.
You guys had it. You had it. Mnet, please do the right thing. All right.
Do the right thing.
You know what? You hinted a bit on Bali's absence. That was the first topic. Bali, where were you? Everyone was asking you, I think during the course of this, where's Bali? What do you think about her not showing up in the show? There is a cast member from your show, at least I understand she was pregnant. With Bali, I understand also she's working, her livelihood. But what do you think?
Rush was there. She was present.
Even more than Bali, yes.
She was there. And Bali, I think, should not have been. They should have changed the lineup.
Yes.
And Bali should have been changed very early on to a friend of the show.
To a friend of the show, yes. She should have just, yes.
They should have worked it out. So she should actually not have been on the credits. Because she only behaved as a friend of the show.
You're right.
I don't know why they didn't take her out of the opening lineup. And I don't think she'll come back.
I don't think so too. You know when Mable said, also, we are your part-time job, I just felt as if probably it's the producers who were, it was a conversation amongst production that, okay, she's treating this as a part-time job. Yeah. And I don't see her coming back.
Well, I don't think she lives in KZN. That house was definitely rented. I didn't feel she had any real roots. I didn't really feel she had any storyline. She had nothing to add. I think that whole huge argument that she had with Slee about... I mean, I felt that was very manufactured, that Mabusi's story. Yes. Very manufactured, very overdone. You know, when Nonku arrived and she sort of just sat and stared forward, it was a manufactured, she looked as if she was acting. She's an actress.
Because, ask yourself, Had Bali not spoken about the Mabosi vibes, what would she be speaking about in the reunion?
Nothing. Because she had no storyline. None. A little bit of a sad thing, obviously, about having lost her baby,
definitely, yes.
trying to now have another baby.
Yeah,
little bit of story about
yes.
her not getting on with her mom and the Labola and how does she introduce this man. She didn't really have a storyline.
No, she didn't.
Except for the fact that she's an actress in Joburg and isn't really living in KwaZulu-Natal. She's not, to me, a real housewife of Durban.
Of Durban. No, I'm with you 100% because we always say when we have our conversation, you must have domicile. You must be domiciled in the place, you know.
And she tried to get around that at the beginning by saying, I'm often in Joburg filming, but my home when I'm in Durban is at Bali. Nah, you just rented it for a short time when you were in Durban and you didn't fool any of us. That's my opinion. And I'm entitled to it.
I didn't say it, guys. I said it.
I
didn't say it. All right. Let's talk about the sitting plan. You know, I'm so grateful that I'm with you. You have walked this path.
I have.
And you're the OG, first of all. That's very important. You're an OG of the Real Housewives of Cape Town, all right? And you got the seat next to the host.
Yes.
And you sat across the hurricane.
Oh.
The hurricane tattoo. Oh God, I'm thinking of her when I see drinks. All right. So, Jojo got the seat next to the host. And Slee, what do you think about that?
Okay, so as you know, getting the seat next to the host means that you brought the drama, you brought the assignment in whatever way you did.
Yes.
Okay. And you know, often you will be receiving quite a lot of negative flashback on Twitter if you're the person who is next to the host.
The host, yes.
And you've got to have a hell of a thick skin.
Yes.
But you have brought the assignment and entertained the people.
Yeah. And
Jojo has come in for her fair amount of flashback this season.
Yeah, most definitely.
She, however, I know that, as she said when she arrived, I just wanted it to end. I'm done. I want out. And I was happy for her that she had the top spot because she, for whatever reason, that she was involved in all the drama, which I very much felt happened to her because she was what do you call it? She was collateral damage to everyone going after Nonku, actually.
So basically, people didn't want to go for Jojo. They wanted
mostly
Nonku.
They were. I see it as Sorisha's tribe trying to bring down Nonku because Nonku's the big fan favorite, and because Jojo is Nonku's sidekick.
All right.
They went for Nonku. They went for Jojo.
All right.
And also because Jojo has this incredible flashing temper, she lashes out if people go for her or her friend.
Yes.
Okay, and that gets her into trouble. It gets her into trouble with the fans. It gets her. I mean, like she threw water all over her own friend.
Yes.
When she lashed out. So but we know that she's got that temper.
Yeah.
So it's nothing that should surprise us.
Not at all.
I got red wine thrown all over me and a glass smashed in my face. That is, I mean, what Jojo does is mild. You know, it's nothing to go hysterical over. And we know what she's like. And she comes back and says sorry for it. She is accountable for her behavior.
Okay.
She knows who she is. And she's always sworn. She's always, from the very first moment she came on, she's been full of FUs and whatever. Yeah. So the thing is, she is when I say devil, because I don't think she's a devil, but what I'm saying is there's this thing called better the devil you know than you don't know.
All right.
She's the one that we know. If she went and suddenly became all passive, we'd be shocked. She wouldn't be delivering what we expect her to deliver. Jojo and her tattoos and her swearing and her going on about what she's building and her cars and whatever, if she wasn't bringing that, we'd be upset. So she brings it and then people get upset with her because she's bringing it.
I'm with you.
Okay, so and I think this time, having been the brunt of, for instance, she got accused of being the one who said that Annie slept her way to the top.
Yes.
Nobody believed her that she didn't until the reunion, when
Until
it
the
finally
reunion,
came
yes,
out.
yes.
She got blamed for a whole lot of things that
things,
Sunny
yes.
said. I think it drove her completely around the bend that nobody believed
Yes, I understand,
her.
I understand.
And it only came out in the reunion. So what was interesting was that when it came to the reunion and she's up there and she's by the host, she's given up.
I understand.
She doesn't bring it anymore.
You know what?
That was interesting.
I'm of the view, I hear you 100% and I agree with you. I'm of the view that Jojo deserves the seat next to the host.
Yeah.
She was a force. She
Yeah.
was the bone collector.
Yes.
Had Jojo not been the one, spilling the tea and stuff like that, and she brought shade also. I think when you sit next to the host, it's because you'll be accountable for most of the things during the night. Nonku would have sat in next to the host, but I don't think she was even emotionally fit to sit next to the host
Because
to
of
account
what's
for,
happened with RD.
yes, to account for anything. I think Jojo is perfect, but I would have. I know Slee brought it as a newbie, but also would have had someone else.
I wouldn't put
because
Slee there.
Slee didn't really say anything. I mean, the whole entire, even also with Jojo, they didn't say anything. But I'm like, wait a minute, guys, you're sitting next to the host. But who would you have put across Jojo if, let's say, it wasn't Slee?
I don't know why. Maria.
I would have put Sorisha.
Maria or Sorisha.
Yeah.
Well, Sorisha's definitely. I have been the villain.
Yes.
So yes. Maria or actually not Maria, you're right, I would have put Sorisha because Sorisha's been prime villain number one
Yes, and she was very vocal.
And she was very vocal.
Extremely
and
vocal.
she deserved to be there. I agree.
Once in her life.
But not Slee. I don't know why Slee was there. I know Slee has been subtly stirring.
Yeah.
The whole season, while going on about her spiritual father and how godly she is and whatever, she's been running around subtly stirring, but not well enough for me to deserve top seat.
No, I think Slee.
I don't think she's been superb.
Slee did indeed bring it to the show. The only notable moment was the finale when she tried to attack Nonku. That was like the big moment, but. That's just one moment. I think Sorisha needed to be in the front row, but I don't know.
Yeah, because Sorisha's been the one who's actually pulling all the strings, the puppet master.
Yes. Remember, even Slee herself, Sorisha had to approach on the first episode and said, "I'm creating
she took her to one
an
side.
alliance." Yes, I think Sorisha deserved.
And I said that on episode 1. I said, "Oh look, Sorisha's gone, taken Slee to one side, and she's approached the new girl, and she's creating an alliance. She's the puppet master." Absolutely.
I remember you said that.
And I also said that Slee has a problem. She went to speak to her spiritual father, and I said Slee has a problem fighting her instinct to want to use her fists, and I believe this goes back to her childhood, and it's something that she's needing to confront spiritually, and it came out.
Yes.
But that should not have given her the prime seat. You're absolutely right. It's not Maria, it's Sorisha.
Sorry.
Sorry, Sorisha. maybe they'll swap it for... No, they won't.
Yeah.
But it's an odd choice. Jojo, I think, deserves it, but I think she's too tired to wish to actually be the force that is needed for the reunion, because I think she's actually going to, you know what, I've mentally removed myself from this.
But I have something that I want us to speak about, all right? I don't know if I could say it's an elephant in the room. You know what? Do you think that, for example, right, in a cast that is diverse, such as the Real Housewives of Durban, sometimes people, they just look at JoJo's race first and look at her behavior and be like, oh, she's doing this because she's a white girl, and not think this is something that a black cast member would pull, and we would just say, she's just, she has a problem with temper. But because it's JoJo, it has been sort of, people then start to say, oh, it's because of her race and whatnot, that's why she feels like she should behave like that. I'm at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know, I love the Housewives of Pretoria, and I love the Housewives of the Winelands, because I get to see the white girls interacting together, and I'm like, okay, this is actually interesting. They are petty. It's just that if it was in a cast where, by the way, also people of color, we would have then labeled some people, certain weights. When you look at like someone like Anita from the Winelands, she's crazy, but if she was in Durban alone, she could have been given a bombastic side eye. I'm not sure if you understand what I'm saying.
Okay, so are you saying that, like, so Jojo might say some okay, Jojo feels, I know, that the saving grace for her not being accused of racism is the fact that Nonku is her best friend. And that if Nonku wasn't her best friend, she probably would be.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But I guess...
and they are truly best friends.
Yeah, but will there be a point whereby we look beyond someone's race and look at their actions?
That's what I'm saying. Your actions are only your actions. So, like, for me...
Yes.
I remember when I was accused of racism, okay?
Yes.
And I couldn't work out how it was that people couldn't understand that I was friends with every single other person on the show.
Yes.
So if I dislike one person and they're black, it's because I dislike their behavior.
Yes, yes.
So but I'm friends with all the other girls.
I'm with you.
And so there's one white lady on the show who I'm friends with, there's one Muslim lady on the show who I'm friends with, and all of the other girls are black.
Yeah.
And I'm friends with all of them. So how does disliking one black lady make me a racist when I'm friends with all of the others? So it's a very queer paradigm when you're not allowed to dislike someone, just dislike them.
You're right.
For their behavior. I'm not quite sure if that's answering your question.
No, it is answering my question. And
when I dislike someone, I dislike them for what they're doing. Okay? Quite simple. So I'm hoping that when people dislike someone's behavior on Durban and call them out, like if I dislike someone's behavior on Durban, I dislike them for what they're doing.
Not necessarily.
It's that simple.
Yes,
okay?
Yes.
So if I see somebody like Sane, I disliked from the very moment that I clapped eyes on her, and I have all the way through because she's consistently lied and cheated.
Yes.
Now, if she was orange, that is how I would feel about her.
Same, all right.
Right.
Yes.
If she was Chinese, that's how I'd feel about her. If she was Russian, I don't have a passion for the Russians right now because of what they're doing to Ukraine. But I do actually have friends who are Russian. They live in Sea Point. They're lovely people. They don't like what Russia are doing to the Ukraine. That's not my point. I don't have a problem with Russian people. I don't have a problem with anyone. I have a problem with the way that people behave.
You're right.
It's all about your behavior and your motivation. And if you tell lies, and if you're mean to people, and if you attack below the belt, and your motivation is cruel, then you deserve what you get. That's it. Does that in some way answer your question?
100%. I needed us to discuss that. It's very important because sometimes her race always comes to the discussion.
I can't understand that.
And also I think when you were in the Housewives of Cape Town, your race always came to the discussion. But it's
so my way of dealing with that is I live my life by example.
Okay.
So I live my life by the way that I live my life.
All right.
And people must watch how I live my life and see how I live my life, because I can't prove to anyone what I am.
And the moment
I can only prove my life by how I live it, and that's that.
And guys, what I always say is the moment you try so much to prove to people that okay, I'm not a racist, why
you'll never win.
That's why we're like, why is this one busy proving? I'm glad
you'll never win.
I'm so grateful that we spoke about that. And it's important for us to speak about race, to also speak about colorism, because those are all the issues that are affecting.
We had body shaming.
Yes, and
this one.
Body shaming.
I couldn't stand it. Maria was right about that. I disagree with Maria about a lot of things, but this was shocking on this.
That one, I think it does not even
really
need so much
me.
any discussion. Body shaming
mustn't happen.
is wrong at all levels. And what is so sad is all these girls they contributed to that.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, everyone, even the friends of everyone contributed.
Well, on my
to
show,
that.
I had ageism thrown at me.
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember. And even the fact that Nonku, guys, is someone who's struggling with alcohol, it should not be something that is
Well, actually,
where
I think
we
she's
be
really conquered
weaponized.
it this
Yes.
season. I did not see her. I saw her slightly tipsy at the one event, but not like, no, but seriously,
I'm
I think
thinking
it was
about it.
once.
I'm like,
Yeah.
has she been drinking? No, I don't remember.
I think the one event at the Drakensberg, she was a little bit tipsy.
Yeah.
Okay. But compared to previous seasons when she's been off her trolley, she is doing so well, and I'm so proud of her.
She is.
Okay?
But again, it's not something,
But you
Camilla,
don't do that. You don't,
should be
okay,
used
so
to
and Bali
weaponize.
did repeatedly. She should be in AA.
Yeah.
She's a drug.
The
It's
AA
not-
one was Sane.
it's-
Sane.
Oh, it
Sane.
was Sane.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I think in Bali also said something.
Yeah, Bali also
She
said
did?
that she drinks and
Oh,
whatnot.
I've forgotten. I should.
Ooh la la la.
Gotta do this.
This is so beautiful. You were
For my Durban ladies.
You were. It's so beautiful. We call this
Isn't it?
Tolo. We call this Tolo in Zulu. And I remember you were rocking it at the Bridgerton event. You were a stunner.
Oh, thank you, my darling.
Everyone was like, "Who's this lady? Who's this lady?"
Oh, that was divine.
It
hey?
was beautiful.
I love this. I think I must get it in many colors because
Thank you.
it's such a beautiful hat.
Thank you. I
And
love.
boy recommended it for me, so you gotta get it.
Honey,
yeah.
I'm the Zulu representative everywhere I go.
My favorite.
Everywhere I go, no matter no matter Skatsini, I'm always recording it down for my Zulu people. That's why we by the way, we're shooting the reunion of the Houses of Durban was shot at night. Took them 12 hours or more. And then we are also shooting in the same style. You know?
Absolutely, darling.
Yes.
Totally.
Now, Camilla, let us discuss something, right? Sorisha, just a bit on this one, because we did speak about it in the beginning. Sorisha says her behavior, her new Sorisha is influenced by Annie. What do you think about that?
I think that's a bit of cop-out, actually.
All right.
Yeah. I think Sorisha decided that she wanted to get her ratings up, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, I think she wanted to become the main girl, not the side chick. I think that Nonku was like always getting the ratings, and Sorisha wanted to be up there, and you know, often the villain is the one that gets everybody talking, right? So if you go on Twitter trending, now it's Sorisha Nonku, and this was her. Oh, excuse me, it's the bubbles.
It's the bubbles.
This was her way to do
bubbles.
it. So I'm not buying it. I mean, you know, giving Annie the credit, but then also walking in and saying, "Oh, it's been the worst season ever," and crying the victim card. It's a little bit disingenuous.
Definitely,
Yeah.
and I don't know, but there is an agenda that Sorisha, I think she had when she went into the. I think she was very intentional. She was very intentional when
This
she went.
season was very intentional.
When she went to this season,
Yeah,
right?
and also, you know, talking about Vivian and Vivian's never at home and all that, and a little bit of trouble in paradise. All of it felt very contrived to
creating a storyline. And she said to Nonku and Jojo and I think Ru, she said Futsek, right? Let us talk about that.
And then I try and rewind and say, oh, you know, that's. And our host actually gave her a bit of a pass on that. And that does definitely mean that's what you say to a dog. Yeah. I mean, where I come from, where you come from,
it's
for a
dog.
What you say when you want a dog together.
I know I can't.
You don't do that.
I cannot, honestly. It's now they're trying to make it technical. It means go away.
No, it's a bit similar to telling somebody to F off. I'm sorry.
Can I say something? I love our host, right? But there's something that he did. I'm not sure if you noticed. He allowed Sorisha, he said, no, but Nonku, we all know that Futsek means go away. And then Nonku defines Mabusi vibes. The host is like, no, Mabusi, that's not what you meant.
Yeah.
Why? You see?
So needing a little bit of favoritism there.
On Sorisha, just in that moment, I think he could have... Why did he do that? Why are you assuming that that's not the definition that Nonku has? We all know that, you know...
I didn't actually feel when she said, because remember she said, when I Googled her, she gave me my Boosie vibes.
Yes.
But now that I've met her, she doesn't.
Wow,
she clarified
I didn't
it.
notice that. She said when I Googled her.
That's what she said. to the others at that picnic. She said, you know what, when I Googled her, she gave me my Boosie vibes. But now that Bali got up to go to the loo, and she said to the others, when I Googled her, I read she's an actress and she gave me my Boosie vibes, but now that I've met her, she doesn't.
She doesn't.
She didn't say she's still giving me my Boosie vibes in this moment.
But that is contradictory, right? Right? You're saying she gives me my Boosie vibes, but she doesn't. Now that I've known her, she doesn't.
Exactly, she withdrew it.
But then today she said, my Boosie vibes means you're a hustler. My Boosie vibes means you're independent.
Yeah, but exactly. But you see, that's what she was trying to say today, but she forgot what she actually said. What she actually said on the day was, she was looking at it negatively.
Yeah.
She did give her my Boosie vibes when she looked at her on Google.
Yeah.
And then she said, but now I've met her, and actually I think she's okay.
Okay. Well.
And she's kind of gone a double blind, if you know what I mean.
Yes, yes.
And it's stupid, but you do get the feeling maybe the host didn't like what she did to Ayanda all those years ago. Maybe he's got a little thing, he doesn't like her as much as Sorisha. I don't know. People are biased. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't think Nonku's done herself any favors with how she handled that Mabusi situation. But I also think that Mbali has manufactured. Look, let's make it clear. Mbali arrived with that bottle of A to B on purpose, ready to pour it down the drain. Absolutely.
I want you to
I
tell
think
the
it was
viewers,
a setup.
Do you think
that
so?
That was a set up. Not my words.
Or you might be right that that moment was actually manufactured.
Of
Think
course
about
it
it. She brings
that
A
was
to B.
that was a production.
And also, where do
that has production
I'm
written all over
and
it.
also, where do you get A to B in stores? Which
That
stores?
was
Which stores sell
nowhere.
A
What,
to
you
B?
stop at your local little checkers. That has production all over it.
You're right. You're onto something.
All over it.
You're onto
I
something.
just set up. I'd like to talk about something actually.
All right.
Because we were on
Bring
to
it on.
Bali and she's
Bali.
at Slee.
Yes.
Now I want to talk about Slee and her kids because there was a little reversal here.
Yes.
Because we were asked about a
Okay,
Twitter
your glass.
comment.
Look at your glass.
Oh my
Mine.
goodness.
Why?
This
My
is
God.
not good.
People are watching and like,
How
oh my
rude of me.
God.
How rude of me.
Thank you.
Let
No,
me
but
chop
the
you
fact
up.
that I'm busy talking and drinking, people are like, oh my God, Camilla's drink is still full.
No, I finished mine. I told myself that.
Ah, okay.
I didn't do you. I'm rude.
Okay.
I'm rude. So this is non-alcoholic bubbly.
Thank you.
Which I'm going to actually recommend.
So lovely.
Because I want to collaborate with these lovely people. This is called Allure. And you can't buy it anywhere.
I trust me, I get high on sugar.
I love it.
As much as it's de-alcoholized, but I get high on sugar. Once I drink sugar,
Love
I
this
become
stuff.
like da-da-da. All right,
So-
let's talk about Slee's kids.
Yes, so Slee did a bit of a rewind because the host said there was somebody remarked on Twitter about Slee and not her kids not living with her for 6
Yeah.
years. And she said, well, it was for the sake of her children because she didn't want to disrupt them and
All right.
change their family home. And so she didn't land up taking them to school, but she would see them on the weekends and things like this.
I heard her
But that
saying
is
that.
not what she said during the show.
What
Or
did
right
she
at the
say?
show.
What did
She
she say?
said, I didn't see my kids for 6 years. I gave up my kids for the sake of a man.
I remember. I think it was the
Yeah.
first episode or around those. And even with the episode where she was
That
crying,
is-
she was
and
crying
said,
over
I regret
time.
it. I should never have done it.
Yeah.
I gave up my kids for the sake of a man. And that is something I can never get back. And now she's now...
I think because of the backlash, probably
Well,
from
it's a
social
big-
media.
it's a big backlash,
And
but
now she's like, oh my God, let me
So what
cover
was
up.
it? That football, is it, what was he
Oh,
famous?
the husband is actually like
he
an
never
own.
married her.
Yeah.
He went off and married someone
Oh
else.
yes, he's the owner of
Amazulu,
Amazulu
yes.
Football Club.
So she said that she put all her hopes on this bright shining star.
God.
She gave up her kids and put all her hopes in this man for 6 years. And 3 months after leaving her, he married someone else. And the backlash was, how could you leave your kids to go for a man? And then, of course, he doesn't even stay with you. He then, 3 months after dumping you,
Marry another
married someone else, but he never married her. So now she's changed it to a more palatable story.
Yes, like I used to see my kids.
Yes, and it was better for them if they were with their dad because it didn't disrupt their lives. And that's not the truth. The truth is that Amazulu didn't want somebody else's kids in his house.
Finish and clear.
Yes, the truth was what we heard the first time.
Yes, and I think she's trying to cover up right now.
Of course she is, because people don't like.
Yes,
that.
and I think I was watching Tando Mdleja's channel. She said something profound. She was like, if you notice Nonku's reaction when Slee said that, it was like, I guess Nonku knows the whole story, and she knows that this is actually not
Slee's
true.
Nonku was like, because Slee's been trying to give Nonku parenting advice.
Oh,
look,
God.
Slee is not, in my opinion, again, this is my opinion.
Yes, madame.
I don't think, I'm glad that Slee is trying to follow a spiritual path.
Okay.
And I hope that it leads to redemption. But I do not believe that Slee is the full spiritual person that she would like to have us believe. And I wish that she would listen to her spiritual father better. He gives very wise words.
He does. Even Camilla likes him.
Listen. I do like him. I think he's fantastic.
But
the words are amazing. But I'm not sure that she's listening.
But cameras, something about cameras, Camilla. You know, I feel like I recently watched the Housewives of Cape Town reunion. I love that show, right? And I've been watching the last part of the reunion. Mrs. Leo said something so profound. She said, when you come into such a platform, you need to know who you are.
Absolutely.
Because it can consume you and change you. I feel like once people are there, they just become these people. They become so crazy.
I was just going to say exactly the same thing.
Yes.
I'm not sure that Housewives is the right place for Slee. If she's going to follow the spiritual path, then you have to be very spiritually complete.
Most definitely.
And solid and know who you are and have a very thick skin and not be able to be swayed from your path if you're going to be in a show like this.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, it can rock you.
But I think, she is probably going to learn. Let's take it as it's a learning curve, honestly. It's a first season, cameras are shining in her face.
But she landed up hitting someone.
I know. And there's a spiritual person, that's not a nice, it's not a nice sign, honestly.
No.
And she could have had Nonku. Those, especially, so in case that people are spiritually asleep, even if they could just do this to you a bit, you could really have seizures.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have seizures.
If she is as spiritual as she says she is. That's what I'm trying to say. Is she?
Okay. Camilla, let us talk about something else, all right?
Moving swiftly on.
Swiftly, yes.
Right.
Right along. Let us talk about Maria and Ruan.
Shall we talk about RD and Nonku or Maria?
Let's sort that one. That one is too spicy, the RD and emotional.
It is very emotional.
Yeah. Let us talk about the Ruan and Maria.
Right.
So basically Maria feels as if Ruan chose Jojo. It was sad to see her cry, honestly, for me. It was. But I just want to hear your thoughts.
Okay. So I met Ruan last year with Jojo at the Durban July.
Yeah.
And I became a friend of his. So I've chatted to him actually.
Yeah.
So I can actually kind of give you a little bit of an inside track.
Okay.
On like his I can't exactly tell you. All I can tell you is that he made a choice based on behavior that he saw during the show.
All right.
There was a very firm reason for the fact that he had a split in his friendship with Maria. He's not good at expressing himself, which is why I think we didn't see him say much.
Yes.
As you see, the nodding thing was hilarious. That made me laugh. The host.
Yes. The host. Shame.
I know that the season nearly destroyed Ruan. I know that he's been seeing a therapist,
Ooh,
not even
that's
a
very
therapist.
tough,
I mean,
honestly.
I hope he's going to be okay with me saying this, but not even a therapist based in
No,
Durban.
you're helping us understand
Not even
the
a therapist
impact,
based in Durban,
the
a therapist
impact.
that is outside Durban.
You're
So it can't
helping
even
us
be somebody that
understand.
knows somebody in Durban.
No, you're helping
So
us understand.
an out of town therapist. The season
Wow.
finished him. So Maria's emotional. I can't speak to exactly what happened between them, but whatever I can say is that it was enough to end his friendship with Maria, and that he feels as betrayed as she does. So they both feel betrayed, and it's enough to have ended the friendship.
And Maria calls him what?
A dildo in the wind. And I said to him, I'm going to make you laugh now. I said to him, never mind, Ruan, because a dildo is hard and strong and stays upright all the time. And I said, and it doesn't matter if the wind blows, because it never goes down.
I'd be asking.
I said, I think that's quite a compliment. And I made him laugh because he actually told me about it. I said, there's nothing wrong with being a dildo in the wind. I said, it's better than being a candle in the wind or a piece of grass in the wind. I said, I think being a dildo in the wind is quite nice.
I've only seen it on TV, guys.
So what do you think? I made him laugh. He was so upset, and I made him laugh.
You know what?
I said, "Come on, it's a good thing."
You know what? I felt as if it's very it's offensive, and
it was offensive.
yeah,
But and then after that, he laughed.
Yes, I understand. It's you know what? I commend Ruan for one thing. He didn't lose his cool.
No.
And it's one thing to say someone betrayed you. How can you betray me for moving on and finding another friend? Because Ruan has never spoken ill about Maria.
But he didn't then either. He didn't answer back.
Yes.
He just said,
I really commend him for that.
This is what is. And he didn't explain why.
Yeah.
And he just said, and when she came back, and what is the host name again?
Mable. Yes.
When Mable said, "Is there anything you'd like to say?" Ruan just said no, and I think that's dignity.
Salute to Ruan, because you could have came for Maria. You know Maria's secrets. She has secrets.
I think that's the point.
You know, but you didn't. You know, so for me, I respect him.
So she turned on the drama. She got an opportunity to flounce out and do the waterworks and sob and show us her dress and whatever.
Yeah.
Great. It's done. We all got to feel sorry for her. There is actually a whole side that we could feel sorry for Ruan for.
Yes.
He didn't go there.
Yeah.
Because it takes two to tango. And that's all I'm going to say.
Heads off, Ruan.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Do you think that Maria, or rather Jojo, told Maria a lot of negative things about Sorisha?
No.
You don't think so?
Not at all. Absolutely not. I think Maria came on that show to use Ruan and Jojo as a jumping step to get to know Sorisha.
Yes, you're right. It's either, I think the aim was to dethrone Sorisha, but you know when you cannot beat them,
she wanted to be part of Sorisha's
them.
circle for sure, and that was the only aim. She wasn't really friends with Jojo. She did know Ruan. She wanted to get on the show, and her aim, Sorisha to her is like some kind of goddess.
Yes.
And her aim was to remember that Maria is Indian.
Yeah.
And I have it.
Okay.
Via sources that know Sorisha very well and our neighbors and know Vivian very well, that
okay, come on with it.
That Maria wanted in terms of elevation within Sorisha's community. Absolutely, Jojo did not run Sorisha down at that stage. Jojo didn't have a problem with Sorisha in the slightest early on in the show.
You know what, Camilla?
Jojo brought Maria on the show. There was not an issue.
You know what I'm thinking?
Sorisha was so hurt that, Maria was so hurt that Sorisha gave her a miss like a stop street and didn't know who she was, and then went to Annie and went like, oh, why didn't I get an introduction?
I remember.
Because Sorisha actually found Maria to be her social inferior. Very much her social inferior. Maria's husband only owns a Greek restaurant. she's a social inferior like this. Maria wants in, social elevation. Can't you see it? I am throwing such shade.
I was quiet. You know what? If Maria says Ruan was desperate to be on TV, she was also desperate.
Oh, absolutely. That's the pot calling the kettle black.
Yes, she was also desperate to be on TV. And you remember that I've told you that part of me feels as if Maria was not part of the original people that were supposed to be part of season 3. That's how I personally feel.
Ruan was with Jojo at last year's Durban, July, long before this show started filming. They were friends.
You know
it wasn't Maria.
You know what? This one is definitely for another day. But child, the tea. I don't know what to say. All right. Any topic that you have there, and then let us discuss it.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, we've got the downfall of RD and Nonku, which
let us discuss.
Look,
that.
I mean, I predicted it.
Yes, you did.
I actually issued a warning to Nonku, which was very difficult to do. Nonku, I just think, was so desperate to be loved and to be in love. And I'm desperately sorry for her that it hasn't worked out. I'm surprised that the Queen did not put her foot down. For me, I was surprised it wasn't the Queen. Because she sat there and RD said, I've done a jail term.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised that the Queen didn't say, who's this guy? Check him out further. Blah, blah, blah.
I think the Queen was too excited. That's my opinion, because she was like, oh my God, he's going to give me a car also. Oh. Yeah. You know, our mothers, you know, sometimes you have been in a stage whereby you've gotten married, and if, let's say, your parent says, you know what, this is not, I'm not saying that she should have said, oh, this is not gonna work, but if you know,
you're kind of scared to do that, because your child's gonna say, well, I don't care and I hate you for saying that. That's the other thing. And then Jojo, of course, was just, I'm so happy for Nonku, I'm just gonna let it happen.
Can I say something?
Very difficult.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Jojo, thank you. Thank you. You know, when Jojo said something that is so profound, you know, like, Jojo, but you've been the only one supporting the relationship. What did you see in the relationship or in RD? She says, no, it's not what I saw in the guy. It's what I saw in my friend.
That's true.
And now she's a good friend because she supported. Probably, you know, Jojo had a reservation.
I'm sure she did.
It does not mean that Jojo didn't have
I'm
reservations.
Sure she did.
But I'm sure she was like, you know what? Let me hold her hand throughout this.
Yes.
If it goes down, I'll
hold her hand as well.
For that, I'll never forget.
Well, that's what friends do.
Joanne Robinson, Jojo. I will never forget her.
I agree. You can't turn around to your darling friend who you know has fallen in love with the wrong guy. You can say, listen, I'm not quite sure, but if you love him, I'll support you. There's some things that are bothering me just a little bit, and I need to share that with you.
Yes.
But you know what? If he's the right guy for you, I support you 100%, and I'm there for you. That's what you do to your friend. You never say, he's awful, get rid of him. You can't do that.
You can't.
Not to a true friend. You support them. You might express your reservations. That's what I do with my friends.
Yes.
If I feel it's going to go pear-shaped, I do say, I'm a little bit worried. But I have to say, I really feel for Nonku. It was sad.
Yeah, it was very sad. And, hopefully she's going to come back for
I
the
really hope
next
she
season.
meets somebody lovely.
She will.
Sometime.
She will. There's always, she will find love. Let us talk about the Sane thing. Sane being
exposed. So I don't know if you ever heard me say that Sane, I want ESCOM to employ Sane. Did you ever hear me say that?
Yes, I did.
Because she can power up the whole of South Africa.
Because she's a power.
Gaslighting.
Gaslighting.
Oh my God, it was lovely. But she doesn't apologize. She doesn't care. She's like shown her own lies at last. But please don't bring her back. Just, are we in agreement? Can she not come back? Because she's such a liar. Please.
Guys, I was just saying cheers because I get high on sugar. That's my thing. I don't need alcohol.
No, but
'cause
I mean,
drink a lot
seriously,
of
do you
sugar.
agree with me? Or do you think she's worth it for the
Can I say something?
entertainment?
I think for the following season, we need more sophisticated women.
Yes.
We need more class.
She's not a good liar, even.
That's all we need. Or that's all I can tell you.
I agree.
Then, class, sophistication, you know.
Bali
yeah.
didn't do it for me. And Sanay definitely didn't do it for me. She wasn't even a good gaslighter. You know, there used to be this thing that if you pulled down your pants and you did a little explosion, you sort of light it with a lighter. Well, I think Sanay does it out of her mouth as well. You sort of light all what she says with the lighter. It wasn't good lying. She got exposed. The racism thing at the end, really, with Annie.
Wow.
And then Annie does the slow clap.
Wow.
And they haven't finished because there's more lies.
There's
that
more.
come out. Yeah.
You know those lies.
And
you know those lies. You guys better go watch the show because.
Who lied to the newspapers about Daguru? Printed about Daguru having an affair? We know who did, don't we? We know who planted all that news, don't we? Do we? We've got a jolly good idea.
You know what? I ain't saying anything, all right?
I said nothing. I don't know. I don't have a fly.
You better go watch the reunion talk because it's going to go down next week, all right?
Just like cherry pie.
New revelations, all right? Is there anything that we are missing?
I've seen Maria always wanted to get in with Sorisha. Body shame, we went through that.
Yes. You know what I wanted to say? I'm glad that Asani was called out for that racist comment.
I'm so glad.
For that racist comment.
Good. Because we said racism, body shaming, ageism. I'm tired of it all. I wanted to stop. We've been a unified country since 1994. I love living here.
Yes.
I love Housewives. I don't want this stuff. It's painful for all of us.
It is painful, and
we can argue about other things, can't we?
No, definitely, and I'm so glad that even people on Twitter are saying, you know what, that was racist. I'm sorry to say, can I say this? Can I say this?
Say whatever you like.
To all my black people watching, we sometimes get away with a lot of things. Just pretend as if Camilla is not here, but we get away with most things. We get away with tribalism, we get away with colorism, we get away with racism. Towards even also sometimes colored people. It's that I think it's just self-hatred. I'm glad that Sunny was called out. This is a lesson to all of us. It's just, no. I'm glad that happened. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Yeah, and I want to say I love you.
Thank you.
You are, and boys like my son.
Thank you.
That my boy, what do you say? My boy that I didn't have.
Yes.
He grew in my heart, not under my heart.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you for being with me.
And I appreciate you so much. Camilla is a lovely person, guys. And I'm glad that, with the whole backlash from the House of Cape Town, you did not go out there and be like, I want to prove myself, because you know who you are.
I do.
And there are a lot of things, guys, that are happening behind the scenes to produce moments. I want to say, do not believe everything that you see. I'm not saying the show is definitely 100% original, but I know the best side of you, and that's all that matters. And some people around you, they also know that side.
Yeah, it's like I was talking about that A to B wine, and I said I think that was a production moment. So in any Housewives, it's unscripted completely, but there are definitely moments where they kind of frame you a bit. And then they edit you a bit.
Probably
and
the
you don't have a
producer
choice.
gave her the
I'm
wine.
sure. Arrive with this, yes. And you don't necessarily know what you're going to walk into at any given moment. But that's the joy of Housewives. It's why we love the show. It's why we're here. Absolutely.
And
we're going to be back next week.
We will be back next week. And what do you want to say to your subscribers out there and everyone who follows you?
What I do want to say is because likes are important.
Yes, honey.
Subscribe, please, because those are also help. get the channel going. For me and Boy.
Thank you.
Yeah, we just
his royaltiness, honey.
His royaltiness.
Yeah.
And Camilla, the Queen of Constantia. My channel is known as Camilla's World.
Yes.
And we've so enjoyed having you with us this evening.
Oh, what a lovely evening.
And Boy, we've had fun.
Like, guys, siyabonga. Thank you. Enkosi. Baya
Kakhulu, baya danki. Thank you very much. It's been so lovely having you with us. God bless.
God
Good
bless.
Night. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Oops, oops, oops.
Oops, 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 oops.
Yes, we did it.